Well, let's try it another way, Minnie.
Like this?
Just like that. Except the magazine I'm doing this layout for probably wouldn't print it. Come on, let's try another angle here. Come here.
Monsieur le ministre, on vous attend.
Eh bien, on y va. Je te suis.
Up in here. Let's handle it a little higher. How do you like so, huh?
It's very hard, your job, yes.
It's tough, but I try to go on.
Madame, Monsieur le ministre, nous sommes très heureux de vous accueillir. J'ai tellement entendu parler de votre belle collection, madame. Il y en a par ici.
Who's that?
One of the ministers of the cabinet.
Who's the woman?
His wife. It's very obvious.
Yeah. Well, back to the grind. That hand a little higher, like so. Angle your body, yeah. Your head down just a little bit, huh? Yeah, hold that. Let me look at it.
I haven't taken a single photo yet.
Yeah, well, you see, Monique, this is a very sensitive camera, and with you standing in front of the lens, it's just liable to explode. All the vital parts seem to be in order. The camera, I mean. Can't say I didn't warn you.
Qu'est-ce que tu fais?
Et vous? Pas de photo, hein? Eh, allez, vite! La voiture de monsieur le ministre! Vite, hein, vite!
Take your film, please.
What, on-the-spot stuff like this? Not a chance.
Inspector Jacques Duval, Sûreté. Your film, please. I'm sorry.
Why? Are you afraid what's happened here might be seen by the world?
I have no time to enter into a political discussion with you. I have my orders. Here's a receipt. You may collect your film tomorrow morning at Sûreté headquarters. Now, your roll of film, please. Or must I take it by force?
You think you could?
Shall I call him over?
Okay. But let's get one thing clear. I expect this film to be at the Sûreté tomorrow morning waiting for me just as it is, untouched and uncensored. Madame Benoit.
Mademoiselle.
There was a pretty good try at blowing up your Minister of the Interior yesterday. I took some hot film on it. I would like it back. One of your inspectors liberated it from me. Duval.
But we have no Duval.
No. I've been played for a sucker before. Bamboozled, conned, tricked, but never quite that smoothly.
I see. I think you'd best talk to Inspector Songlet. He sees all the American cinemas.
You know something very curious, Mrs. Strait?
Had I been there myself, I would have said the same things, exactly. I would have taken the film roll and given you just such a receipt as is.
Well, maybe I got the name wrong.
No, here it is. Duval.
Well, this Duval, or whoever he is, was standing next to a black Peugeot. He saw me with the camera. The other man said something to him, and he headed straight for me.
The other man?
Yeah, that's what keeps ticking over in the back of my head, the other one.
This second man, you saw him clearly?
No, not clearly anyway. Well, it was like a flashby on a screen. But I've seen him somewhere before. I'm certain of it.
But you don't place him?
No. I thought perhaps if I could look at some of your mugshots.
Photographs? Yes. But with the number of fanatics we have on file, that could take you quite a long time. No. I don't think I should interest myself in it now, Monsieur Straight. In fact, in this particular case, I think it would be best entirely if you left it completely to us and put this second man out of your mind.
Why?
It is an internal French matter, monsieur, and how would you say, very delicate?
A kind of family affair? Well, not for me, Inspector. Not after almost getting my head blown off and having a hot newspaper story yanked right out of my hands. Right now, I figure it's my affair, too. So let's start with this Duval. You must have a mugshot on him somewhere.
We do. L'écran et le projecteur fixe, s'il vous plaît.
Oh, Inspector, I'll just keep that, if you don't mind, until I have something to show for it. There's a standing house rule where I come from, no chips, no dice.
No chip. Ah, oui. No film, no receipt. There you go. You are surprised that I understand?
No, I understand you see all of our American cinemas.
Hmm? Oh, sit down there, please.
Thank you. No. No. No, not that one either.
A scar here on his neck, about this long. Short hair, medium height, a slight disability, perhaps, a limp wound of some manner.
No, he was healthy enough to win a prize.
The accent, Parisian?
I don't think so.
Pied noir, Algerian.
No, more foreign.
We call him Le Cygne, the little swan, because of the beauty of his character.
That's him. But that's the wrong name for him, as far as I'm concerned.
It serves. Or Duval, for that matter.
Well, who is he?
He was a sergeant in the 2nd Para-Brigade of the Foreign Legion.
Oh, one of the tough boys that deserted and started blowing things up on his own, huh? And before that?
Who can say? Part of the Romanian Iron Guard, perhaps? With Hitler's army in Russia? A defector in the Ukraine? Or even, perhaps, one of your gangster types from America. You understand, monsieur? No one pries into the past of a man in the Foreign Legion. Not even the Sûreté.
Yeah, well, right now, his past includes trying to blow up one of your ministers, let alone 6 very lovely models, just for extra points. Don't you think it's time to start prying a little?
We are professionals here, monsieur. We have a special detail for this one and some of his men. He will be brought in at the proper time.
At the proper time? What, after he's blown up 3 or 4 more places? This may be a family affair, but it doesn't mean that an outsider can't peep through the knothole. You've got a small army of madmen running around in this country.
Oh, monsieur.
Oh, I know. You've seen all of our American movies. We've got a few, too. But at least they don't mix politics with bank robbing.
What would you suggest?
It's very simple. Pick up this Duval. Sweat out of him the name of the other man in that car. Whoever he is, and he's someone important, or his face wouldn't keep flashing on and off like a neon sign in the back of my mind. Whoever he is, I've got a hunch that second man is the key to this whole thing.
Very simple. Lumière. All right, we are finished now, mademoiselle. That is all, Michel. There is something here I should like you to see, Monsieur Straight. But first, I must tell you something. I am a flick, a cop, yes. I do my job. I do it well, I think, and as I am ordered. But I respect the Republic. More, I cherish it. No, it is even part of my faith. But then, every decent Frenchman stands by the Republic. Oh, I know there are a few lunatics on the right who want a dictatorship, a few more on the left who want the same thing, only run by themselves, of course.
A dangerous few.
Yes, yes, but still only a few. And they will be dealt with. They are being dealt with. See for yourself. This is our scoreboard. Edouard Simola, one of the plastic bomb maniacs, captured in Toulouse, killed. General Henri Boulon.
One of the leaders of the army revolt in Oran, wasn't he?
Was, yes. Now he's in prison at Limoges for life. Professor Garvin in prison. Colonel Temin hiding in Spain. Bertrand Corbet.
Inspector. That's the man. That's the second man who gave the orders in that car yesterday.
I am afraid you are quite wrong, Monsieur Straight.
Oh, no. I never forget a face. I remember now. Bertram Corbett.
Of course. You would have seen pictures of him many times. A deputy in the chamber.
Assistant Minister of Foreign Affairs, war hero, married into an old aristocratic family, Aztec scholar. Oh, sure, I could have seen newsbreak photos of him. But that's not what I mean. I met him once. Just once. It was during the war when I was with the American OSS. They dropped me here in France to photograph some beachhead fortifications up close. Corbett was the local resistance leader. We spent 6 hours together worming our way past Nazi guards. Believe me, I remember him.
Perhaps. And yet, as you see...
I'm afraid there's no perhaps about it, Inspector. Bertram Corbett was the man I saw in that car yesterday.
A dead man? He was killed 2 months ago while trying to escape over the Spanish border with his wife. The car went off a cliff. Not the sort of wreck even a ghost would walk away from, would you say, Monsieur Straight?
Were they identified?
Both bodies, by the sister of Corbet and the father of Madame Corbet.
And somebody made a mistake, because I saw him yesterday and he was no ghost.
Who would make that sort of mistake? A father, a sister?
It's happened. I did long enough stretching the obit desk when I first broke into reporting to know that. But then again, maybe somebody wanted that identification to come out that way.
The Sûreté?
I'm not sure about that yet. But I know Corbett's alive. I know he has my film, and I intend to get it back from him.
One moment, please. It would be best for you, Monsieur Straight, if you forgot about this and removed yourself from this affair now.
And if I don't?
It could be unpleasant for you.
My press credentials yanked so that I could be booted out of the country?
Yes. But it could be much more unpleasant than that. You could find yourself merely a file, marked mort, dead, very dead.
That is a real old-fashioned cliffhanger, Mike.
It's still only half the story, Harry.
Maybe, but officially there was no attempt on the minister's life.
Oh, sure. It was just another fashion designer who had a fit of pique and decided to blow up Delmain's.
All I know is what I read in the papers. Besides, nobody else has proved anything different.
Well, I'm going to try.
Okay, pal. But if I cable that story, there's enough in it to get you tossed out of La Belle France.
Don't worry. I've already been warned.
Then why stick your neck out?
That's beginning to sound like the national anthem around here these days. Number one, I've got my hook on a wheel of a story, and I intend to keep it there. Number two, I just constitutionally don't like the idea of plastic bombs being tossed around. And if anything, I like the idea of innocent kids and women being blown up by political fanatics even less.
Look, anybody with a brain in his head feels exactly the same way, Mike. But give the police a little bit more time. They'll tail the last of these guys down yet.
Oh, come on, Harry. I've heard that refrain before.
Tommy, hold the plate on that Washington stuff for a later ad. I've got those addresses for you if you still want them.
I sure do. Madame Duclos. Corbett's sister, right?
Yeah, she operates from the Place Furstenberg. She edits a left-wing rag there called Voice of the People. Yeah, left wing. If you're confused, try our own Civil War for size. Brother against brother, father against son, all that jazz. Now, this is an authentic case. Madame Duclos would have gleefully cut her brother's throat, and probably did, for all I know. Yeah? Yeah, we'll slug it for an overnight if we're running tight.
What about this one, this Baron de Chalot?
The late Madame Corbet's father. Down at the heels aristocracy, and maybe a little bit dotty. I gathered that the only thing that he shared in common with Madame Duclos was their mutual hatred for the former Monsieur Corbet.
Not former, Harry.
Well, that's your story, Mike. I just hope you don't get stuck with it.
Thanks, Harry.
On the telephone, you said you wished to see me about Bertrand Corbet, my late brother. What is it exactly?
You weren't particularly fond of your brother, I understand.
I detested him, at least in the last years. When we were students, I revered him. He was first in everything. Work, sport, and then after the war, he changed. He began parading his honors, lending his name to the bankers and the generals, and even marrying an insipid, feather-headed girl from the infected aristocracy. And finally, selling the last pieces of his soul to the OAS.
Commanding an OAS unit here in Paris, don't you mean?
So much the better. Oh, yes, I hate the fascists, but only the ends they choose, not the means they use. Let them tear down the rotten structure of the state. We will build from the ruins.
Yes, I understand that slave labor is very good for that sort of thing.
I must go now.
Well, I'll walk down with you. I've been looking through some clippings on your brother. I noticed you didn't show at the funeral.
Oh, why should I have? I was only sorry that he could no longer continue his attacks against the state we both despise, for different reasons.
Is he dead?
Of course.
The man is not yet come about the heating. Sit down, please.
Thank you. What I've come to see you about, sir, and I'm sure it's still painful to you, sir, is your daughter. If you could bring yourself to talk about her death for a moment.
Of course.
I understand that you identified the body of Bertrand Corbet.
Yes, and that of my daughter Janine, too.
Were you sure about the fact that it was Corbet?
Of course. He is dead now. He can never do anything more to her. It is better. What could she hope for with scum like that? Yes, yes, scum. No respect for tradition. None. The Marquis Yves de Charlot, Minister of Charles X. My father, in the Franco-Prussian War. That man Corbet. He had respect for family, yes. To use the name of de Charlot to worm his way forward. Forgive me. You will have some brandy, Monsieur Straight. Yes, yes, I insist. Would you believe it? That man Corbet drank only whiskey. I pleaded with my little Jeannine, but she was young, of this generation, like you. But all has changed since the war. I remember so well that last season, 1914, at Chambray, the reception given for Prince Alexis, the Archduke, you know. He was killed in the Revolution, of course, but he was just my age then. Very English that season, the Prince, because you understand of his going to Oxford. Everything was cheap. Cheap?
Chap, I believe.
Oh, yes, chap. Yes, old chap, that was it. But all has changed now. My only son, Sedan, in 1940. So you see, I am the last. Perhaps it is as well, because the room has run out, as you can see. But you will have some more brandy.
Oh, no, thank you. Your daughter, she had no children.
Perhaps if she had lived. If only she'd listened to me, but too late. She found out about him, yes, but too late.
What did she find out?
That he was scum, dragging her name, the name of de Charlot, through the gutter with that...
Another woman? But you're not sure.
I had proof, but I didn't need it. Everyone knew. Ask in the gutter. Ask at the Bistrot des Cafards.
Could you give me the name of the other woman?
No. No, I have said too much. My mind is not... I think I am a little tired. My servant will show you out. Josette.
Thank you.
What?
For the brandy. Thank you.
Fine. Let's try from the top here, because I think I have it now.
Your bitterness and endless pride. La da dee da do. Da da dee da dum. Da dee dee da da dee da.
Cognac and soda, please.
Yes, sir.
From the beginning again.
Mademoiselle Simone? Would you have a drink with me?
I know who you are, Monsieur Straight. And I know why you've come to look for me. In this quarter of Paris, word travels very quickly.
Then I'll be blunt. You were the mistress of Bertrand Corbett?
Nothing so grand. Only when he chose, only when he wished. And I was proud of that.
And were you proud of what he was doing? Leading a bunch of assassins, trying to overthrow the Republic?
What is a woman to do with politics? A woman in love?
A month ago, a 6-year-old child was killed while she was playing with her dolls. Killed by one of Corbett's bomb-tossing madmen. Oh, a mistake, of course. Tell me what she had to do with politics.
I'm sorry.
That's hardly enough.
Monsieur Strait, listen to me. For only a moment. My father was captured in the war. There is no grave for him. My mother was killed by one of your American planes, by one of your bombs. A mistake, of course. She was in a field digging potatoes for our Sunday dinner. I grew up here, in the holes and brick piles of broken buildings. And I lived, a little, by singing on corners and in ruins. But there weren't even ruins in the heart of me, Monsieur Strait. There was nothing. Until Bertrand. Yes, he found me an apartment. Yes, he gave me money. But do you think I drew love from the void within myself because of this? No!
Did he tell you he was married?
Besides, she wasn't a woman to him. His wife, a stick, bloodless, without feeling. A name that he could trade on a counter.
Maybe. But she was his wife.
Yes, pure, injured, suffering. But you didn't know that she had a lover to run off with, did you? No. Nobody knew that but Bertrand. She didn't love him. She had no right to him.
Did you love him?
Yes, and I will.
Where is he?
Let go of me.
Corbett's alive. You know it, and so do I. Now, where is he?
I have my son 3 years now. I don't hate you. I don't think anything of you. But I will warn you. Leave now, and don't ever come back here again. Unless you give no value for your life at all.
Sergeant LeBlanc of the Suitcase.
Yeah, I've heard that line before. This time it's not going to get you any laughs. You're going to take the police to Quebec.
I'll take you to Quebec. Allez.
Jacoby's waiting. Monte. Up there? Fine. It's been a long time.
Quite a long time, isn't it? Cobra. That was your code name, if I remember. Cobra to Wren. War seems to bring touches of poetry to the English mind, doesn't it? Cobra to Wren.
Yeah, well, that's all over and out, Corbett. Now it's just Straight. Michael Straight.
Very good. Yeah, but you seem to be annoyed.
Oh, shouldn't I be? Or should I be grateful that your cheap tinsel gunman here didn't put a bullet in my back?
No. I have a match.
Figures. Always out of fluid.
Yes. A long time. Well, now that you're here, you may as well enjoy the view. It's quite unique. You know, first of all, I must congratulate you on your memory. It's brilliant to recognize me from so long ago.
Not that long ago. Especially without a disguise.
Oh, in a city of 5 million people, no disguise is always the very best disguise. For that matter, I never used one in the days of the resistance.
What happened to you, Corbett? Then you were a man I respected, even honored. And that's not a word I toss around very much. We hated the same things, tyranny and oppression, believed in the same things, liberty, freedom for men everywhere. What happened to you?
But we can be overheard here. Let's go where it's quieter. What happened to France? In the days of the Emperor Napoleon, when his soldiers flung themselves at his feet, when he stepped again on French soil from Elba. And now, look at them. Look at them! Now they're willing to have stupid men whip the last pieces from the empire and throw them to savages. Like terrified peasants scattering bits of food to ravenous wolves to hold them off a moment longer. Look at them. All they want to do is wrap themselves in their private, meaningless, petty pleasures.
Isn't that what sane men have always wanted?
So you take me to be a madman?
Yes.
Then so much the better. History hasn't been written by spineless dots of matter like those. No, but by madmen.
I think you'd better save that speech for the guillotine, Corbett. Unless you're really mad enough to think you can get rid of me up here. And I don't think even Duval is that stupid. If the police find me dead down there, they're going to know I was right when I said you were alive.
No. They'll simply go on thinking of you as a romantic American who had an unfortunate accident. For you see, I am dead. Oh, it's quite official. I was killed with my wife while escaping.
Except it wasn't you, but the man she finally decided to run away with. Now, who was he?
Oof. An artist. A dabbler in painted dreams. But I should thank him. You know, it was quite timely, quite fortunate.
Or maybe you planned that accident, too. Only this time there'll be one difference. There'll be photographs left to prove that you and your stooge planned this one.
I think you're bluffing.
It's your call. Only I'd count the pot if I were you. Because if I go over that rail, one of you's going with me.
If there were photographs, where would they be?
You don't think I'd have them on me?
No, that wouldn't be very likely. In your hotel room, I should think, if they exist. In any case, it'll be a quieter place to discuss our business.
Wait a minute. Isn't that Mike Straight? Say, aren't you Michael Straight?
Oh, that's right.
Sure. I guess I see your stuff every week or so in that magazine back home.
Oh, really?
Hey, Martha, come here a minute. You know, this is Michael Straight.
Martha?
You know, you've seen him a couple of times on that news show back home. Hey, Michael, listen, I bought this camera, paid a fortune for it, all in hard American dollars. That's the way I pay for everything. I can't do a thing with it. I don't suppose you could try to help me. Oh, no, I guess you're busy right now, huh?
Oh, no. Here, let me take a look.
Oh, thanks.
Let's see. Probably something simple. Oh, there it is. Your film wine's locked, that's all.
What do you know, Martha? Your film wine's locked. Say, if you could spare a minute, how about Martha here taking a picture of you and me together, just to show around the folks back home?
Yeah, well, right now, there's nothing I'd like better. But look, why don't we go down on the ground so we can get the tower in the background?
Anything you say, Mike.
Dépêchez-vous,
Dépêchez-vous. On descend tout de suite. Il est trop tard, monsieur.
On doit descendre.
Non.
À un côté, on doit descendre. Laisse-nous passer.
Two of your men tossing me into a squad car and hauling me down here before I have a chance to get back to my hotel. Press credentials rescinded. Ordered out of here on an 8 o'clock flight. I want to know, did you cook this up?
No. But perhaps I should have done for your own protection.
Yeah, well, that's not what this says.
It is quite clear, I think. You cabled an unauthorized story to New York.
Oh, that's just a pretext. Come on. What are you getting me down here for?
A man like Corbet, who becomes a cabinet minister, usually has friends and debts that are still owed to him.
Corbett. Yeah. He would know where a lot of bodies were buried, wouldn't he? Did you know he was alive all the time?
No. We suspected it, even though the identification of the body was so certain.
But his sister still loved him enough to give him a chance to get off the hook by letting you think he was dead. And the Baron de Charlot couldn't bear another scandal over his daughter running away with another man. Then I came across that singer of his. Yeah. No wonder he was so anxious to get rid of me.
Well, I must admit that we used you as, what shall we say, a decoy. But I did warn you officially not to get mixed up in this matter.
Okay, you don't have to rub it in. So I did play part of it like a bush leaguer. But I did turn up Corbett and prove that he was alive.
Alive or dead, there is no proven link between him and the OAS assassins.
What if there were that kind of proof, Inspector? Pictures of Duval with Corbett.
If you had that kind of picture, you should have turned it over to me earlier. I am afraid they have searched your hotel room. And so have we.
Except it wasn't in the hotel room. They're in this.
In there? But what is that? A lighter.
Micro camera.
Micro camera?
Tricky. Especially with blind angles and no light meter readings. No, through the viewfinder right here, Inspector.
Ah, yes.
Maybe it took. Maybe it didn't. If it did, Duval and Corbett are in here.
Could that be developed here? Is that possible?
Yes, it's possible. But it would require special treatment. I'd have to bring all my things over here from the hotel. I probably couldn't get it out before tomorrow. But I could do it in my hotel room now.
I am afraid this order is still in force. I must take you to the airport and see that you leave on the 8 o'clock flight.
Well, how about being unofficial for about a half an hour? You have to let me pack, don't you?
Yes. But this order rescinds all special privileges for you, including the right to take and develop news photographs. The law and my orders are very clear.
Look, you've got a lunatic running loose who would like nothing better than to turn this lovely country into a dictatorship. Oh, sure, he's a little warped, but he's still brilliant enough to have a chance at pulling it off. So to stop him, couldn't you set aside a few of these fuzzy legal technicalities just for a half an hour?
No. Monsieur, the law is France. When it can be set aside, no matter for what cause, then France ceases to be France. I could not be in the same room with you if you broke the letter of the code. However, if, when you are packing...
Fair enough. Hello? That special packing job? It's okay so far.
How long will it take you now?
About 7 minutes. Hang on. Inspector. Now listen, and listen carefully. Corbett's got me covered from the window, and there's a plastic bomb hanging on the key at my room door. Well, I could try pulling the detonator, but it might be booby-trapped. So I'm going to short-circuit it by dropping some photographic acid on the wire. But I still need 3 minutes to get those pictures out of that pan. Inspector?
Hello? Hello?
Monsieur Straight. No, don't be a fool. One bad shot will only give warning.
Excellent! An open area to siphon off the shock waves and a soft banking to cushion the blast.
We have the same kind of training, Corbett.
Yeah.
It's just that we've put it to different uses.
2.5 minutes. There's really no reason for you to stay there. You can so easily come over here to us, if you bring the film negatives with you.
And after I gave you the film?
Nothing.
Then why don't you come over here and get the films?
I think I'm content to wait. After all, in less than 1 minute now, this matter should be quite settled, either way. 50 seconds now, Monsieur Straight. Now, if you choose to come to us...
If it's a choice between you and the bomb, Corbett, I think I'll sweat my chances out right here.
Then you are a fool! This is a French matter! It's not your cause!
A family affair? Well, maybe it's the easy way out, but I'm not buying it. The kind of thing you represent is everybody's affair. That is, if they've got a shred of decency or a hope for the future left in them.
35 seconds now. Seconds!
Monsieur Straight! Monsieur Straight! Open up!
Messieurs, je suis à votre disposition.
Over here, into the room. Handcuff him.
Yeah, this really accomplishes very little. You haven't enough evidence to take me to court. And even if you do, I have so many friends.
I wonder how many friends you'll have left after these get spread over a few front pages.
Take him to the car. And all with your micro lighter. Amazing. Perhaps Corbet is right. Perhaps in a few weeks he will be free again. But even if he is not, there are the others. The others like him.
Maybe. But I'm not worried anymore. You know, we've got a saying back home, Inspector, that all it takes to clean up a tough block is a good cop. Well, now I know a good cop over here. And I've got a hunch there are a lot more of them.
Monsieur.